The world of Formula One has been shaken to its core by the unparalleled dominance of Red Bull Racing. Ever since the heart-stopping season of 2021, where the brilliant Max Verstappen valiantly battled against the legendary Lewis Hamilton, Red Bull has emerged as a towering titan of the sport, leaving their competitors in the dust. Although last season saw Ferrari put up a valiant fight, their hopes were dashed by the persistent issues with reliability, leaving Red Bull to bask in the glory of their unrivaled prowess. This season, the Red Bull team has taken their superiority to an even greater height, constantly upgrading and pushing the limits of what was thought to be possible. But that's not all. Insiders suggest that Red Bull has recently stumbled upon something truly massive, a groundbreaking discovery that could catapult them even further ahead of the pack. The tension is palpable as fans and competitors alike eagerly await to see just what this incredible breakthrough could mean for the future of Formula One. One area of intense focus is the brake systems, where the tiniest tweaks can make all the difference in the quest for victory. Red Bull Racing, the unstoppable force that has been dominating the F1 scene for some time now. This team knows no bounds when it comes to innovation, and their latest changes to their brake calipers are no exception. The RB18's brake assembly was a thing of beauty, as Red Bull worked tirelessly to refine it throughout the first half of the season. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. Red Bull has also created a fairing that encloses the brake disc, isolating it within a larger drum that was created by the new regulations and the arrival of the 18-inch real rim. These small incremental gains may seem insignificant on their own, but they add up over time, making Red Bull an unstoppable force to be reckoned with. As fans and competitors alike eagerly await the next move from this powerhouse team, the tension is palpable. Will Red Bull's brake system tweaks be the key to their continued success? Only time will tell, but one thing is for sure, this is a team that is always pushing the limits, and that means anything is possible. The Formula One teams are constantly striving to outdo each other in the race for innovation and performance. One of the latest developments in this high-stakes game is the use of fairings to bridge the dimensional differences between brake discs and wheel rims. Red Bull Racing has been at the front of this trend, making small but significant tweaks to their braking system to gain an edge over their rivals. By enclosing the brake disc within the fairing, Red Bull can better control the temperatures of the brakes, which in turn improves their performance. Of course, this is not an entirely new concept. Teams have long been harnessing the heat exchange between brakes and wheel rims to achieve optimal performance, and the new regulations only add fuel to this fire. But Red Bull is not content to simply follow the crowd. They have modified the fairing shape and coatings to extract every possible ounce of performance. The same goes for the caliper, where a new coating has been applied to the surface to reduce heat transfer. These seemingly small changes may not sound like much, but in the fiercely competitive world of Formula One, every little detail counts. The titans of the racetrack are relentlessly pursuing every avenue of improvement to gain the slightest edge over their competitors. Such is the case with Red Bull, who have once again revolutionized their brake assembly for the RB19. The disc fairing has been enlarged and reshaped, while the caliper has undergone a series of modifications to reduce weight and improve cooling. But that's not all. The central ports that allow heat to escape from the brake disc have been expanded, and an array of small tubes have been added to act like fins and maintain optimal temperatures. Aston Martin has also joined the fray, completely overhauling their brake assembly and even relocating the caliper to take advantage of the disc fairing solution. And there's more. Both Red Bull and Aston Martin have incorporated tube fins into their calipers to further improve performance. But they're not alone in their quest for excellence. Ferrari has made significant changes for 2023 as well. They've followed the trend of incorporating a fairing around the brake disc, which has resulted in a new caliper position and a new cooling system with two pipes delivering cool air to each side of the caliper fairing. But wait, there's even more. Ferrari has also made changes to their brake disc design, altering the number and position of the drill holes. Instead of the full-width diagonal 5-hole pattern used last season, they've introduced an X-shaped drill pattern with a missing hole every 6 holes down. But what makes Red Bull so fast? While the aerodynamics of the RB19 are certainly top-notch, Chief Engineer Paul Monaghan insists that the car's mechanical ride is just as crucial to its success. As teams scramble to uncover the secrets behind Red Bull's stable platform, attention has shifted towards the gains that can be made from maintaining a steady ride in corners. Despite its impressive downforce and powerful DRS, the RB19's ability to hug the ground without risking damage to its plank or compromising its turn has raised eyebrows throughout the paddock. Experts now speculate that the key to Red Bull's mechanical wizardry lies in the clever design of its suspension systems, which allowed a car to stay close to the ground for maximum downforce while maintaining its stability. The RB19's exceptional performance owes its success not only to its aerodynamics, but also to its consistency throughout the lap. This crucial feature bolsters driver confidence, enabling Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez to push the car to its limits without fear of losing control. According to Chief Engineer Paul Monaghan, the RB19's strength is the result of numerous factors beyond aerodynamics. When asked about the importance of the car's consistent platform, Monaghan emphasized the need to balance all aspects of the vehicle's design and performance. He explained, "It's not just one thing that makes the car so dominant. The ride and platform certainly play a significant role, but they must work in tandem with other elements. The aero map is constantly evolving, and we need to ensure that the car can perform on track in a way that is viable and efficient." Monaghan continued, "We also need an engine that is well integrated and optimized for performance, as well as a platform that the driver can control. It's a complex interplay of many factors that contribute to the car's success. Ultimately, it is a convergence of all these elements that positions Red Bull at the forefront of the pack. And with a car as finely tuned as the RB19, the team is certainly privileged to maintain such a dominant position in the sport." Since the introduction of ground effect cars in Formula 1 last year, teams have been struggling to find the sweet spot of how low and stiff they can run without facing the dreaded porpoising. Mercedes learned this lesson the hard way in 2022, as their car generated too much downforce when it was too close to the ground, causing it to bounce like a kangaroo on a trampoline. This year, they've gone too far the other way, raising the car too high and losing crucial downforce. Aston Martin's performance director, Tom McCullough, realizes the importance of a stable aerodynamic platform, especially when it comes in reference with porpoising and these ground effect cars. Knowing what to expect from the car on track without having to make any unnecessary compromises makes their job a whole lot easier. In the past, they had to make concessions in certain conditions just to alleviate the porpoising issue, such as adjusting dampening, spring rates, and other related factors. Fortunately, that's no longer the case, and they can focus on maximizing performance instead of battling handling problems. The suspense surrounding Red Bull's suspension system is not surprising, considering that this area of the car was assumed to be the even playing field. However, for the 2022 season, the rules were revamped to make suspension systems more straightforward, thereby limiting the tools that teams have to their disposal to set up their cars. This has made it harder to find the sweet spot and get the car running at its optimal performance level. As a result, it's been challenging for teams to position their cars in the desired window, balancing the trade-offs between low speed, high speed, and drag. The previous generation cars were more straightforward in this respect because they had more advanced systems. The regulations were less restrictive. But now, teams are constrained by tighter regulations, making it much more difficult to optimize the car globally. The new limits on suspension systems have even affected aero concepts. And Williams' head of vehicle performance, Dave Robson, admits that it's a challenge to tune out some of the undesirable aerodynamic characteristics. This means that teams must decide at what point they must sacrifice some downforce to get the characteristics they want, as they are not allowed to counteract the sensitivity of the car's suspension. Consequently, they need to go back to the drawing board and reevaluate their aero concept, which is a complex and time-consuming process. It would be intriguing to hear your opinion on Red Bull's innovative braking system. Will other teams be able to catch up to their level of performance? Share your thoughts and insights in the comment section, and don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe for more exciting F1 updates.